geo number. So we'll have a cross map between that. And then on all of the property owners, folders are also uploaded. And they have a similar profile. And one of the things that were really important is license numbers. So once you put it in, it'll stay there forever unless somebody goes in there and deletes it. But once it's in there, it'll stay in there forever.
This should help us take, non-financial data that's not necessary in QuickBooks, out of QuickBooks, like stickers, license.
Right.
So database type things that don't really relate to financial.
Just clutter.
We could move them out of QuickBooks.
But also helps build a database for other people
Yep,
once
yep.
it's
And
in
the
your
other thing that's cool with it is that it has, for lack of a better term, workflows in it. So when somebody kicks off, an ACC project, whoever can be built to tell where all the documents and everything need to be sent to. They've been working with Censures to try to put it all into more online workflow processes. So it's more than just a electronic storage cabinet.
Right. So an example with ACC, I know when you contact construction people, and they can just shoot out an email. So,
To everybody, let them know there's an update or whatever.
yeah, we can put the list in, we can put a profile in with them, and then she'll have that information in there stored.
Question about the folders underneath or the drawer underneath the property owner. It seems like you've got everything covered here, but let's just say for sake of argument, something down the road comes up and we've got to add another folder. Can you add that at a level that adds it to every property owner so we don't have to go through 22?
The profile,
Really?
we build a profile.
That'd be awesome.
And so.
So I'm sure that's going to happen.
Right, as things change, you change the profile, then you save it, and it syncs up everything that's there.
Oh my
The other thing that's really nice is that when we added all of the owners, which was like a huge file, 2,800 people, when we added it, it automatically added all those folders underneath. So it created the folder, created the profile, and it listed all the folders underneath, so nobody has to go in and do that.
Wow.
And just to mention
Freaking
too,
robot.
we're separating it so we have active owners and inactive owners. So people who have sold their property will be just in a different
It'll
folder.
be in a different cabinet or folder, right?
But we could still, if we have to access.
Now we're
then
doing
we
the
have
same
it.
with
That would be
vendors.
kind of cool that if you can put them folders in there like the current owner and previous owners, like it could be 50 or 100 previous owners.
But you'll be able to just sort on the property address, the section and lot, and pull from both. If
Okay.
you're trying to find specific owners of a specific property.
Once you get it all up and running, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
touch it.
everybody will see it. Everybody will see it once it's
No
done.
touch.
No changing.
What's this delete function?
No deleting.
I just want to read it, access, I just want to.
And then I just added in the back of all your packets, this explanation that I gave you. It goes in a little bit more detail, but it has some detail on the second page that you might.
Oh, now I need edit access.
Yours is going to be edited now. That you want to delete.
Move the delete button.
That's right.
Dave, may I ask a question regarding that?
Yeah, address it to Karen, because
Yes.
Do they own our information then?
No,
No.
no, it's our information.
It's our information, okay, and then if something was to happen, like, say, down the road, we stopped using their software,
Mhm.
would we have our software, or would they have our software?
There is a process to exit out, but we can take all of any file that's in there, because I had to upload, any file that we uploaded, we would just have to transfer that to a CSV file.
Okay, so there's no chance of them taking anything off?
No,
the
no.
Okay. Thank you.
And they also have several servers throughout the United States that if anything happens, it's backed up. So if there's any storm or anything in one location wouldn't be, workable, there would be another area that's
Sounds like a
active.
good,
So is our office staff the only ones that have access to this information?
So right now, the office staff will be mainly using it because they're going to have all the functionality. But that shared folder we can set up every owner and they will have access to that shared folder.
You as a board, so board members have access to everyone's?
No, they will only have access to what they need to have access to. So like Nick is in charge of ACC, he would have access to that information.
Can I ask, what's the name of the software?
It's called Rever e-file cabinet,
Spell that, please.
REVVER.
And they just changed it to River. It was
Yes.
Rebo, or what was it?
It was Rubex.
Rubex.
So the reason they changed is because in the years ago, when they started doing this document management systems, when they started creating these, they were only scanning in documents and you were storing them. And Rever and Rubex, over the course of time, has dealt with all kinds of businesses from accounting to, I don't know, document storage. But what they've learned in the course of that is that they can manage workflows. And so their system can manage a workflow, it can kick off the process, and it can manage it through the whole, till it's completed. And so they thought that they were really not showing the true possibility of their system by just a document management system. So they wanted to have a whole new branding of the name so it represents everything that they do. And if anybody's interested, I can print out more information about it so you can see the different kinds of companies that use Rever and anything else that you need.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes.
Why did it cost us $5,000?
Well, the other system that we were looking at was actually $8,000 and
Well,
this was...
$5,000, we're not supposed to have any money.
I can't answer that part.
It's part of the SMILE initiative, trying to modernize, and this is going to make it so much more effective and give us so much more access to information that we just couldn't get to before. Example, this guy runs through the gate, damages the gate, we don't know who it is, but we have a picture of his license plate. That's been an issue in the past. We'll be able to have that in a heartbeat and let him help us by paying for that.
The other thing that we will be saving on paper, because we will no longer need the paper a lot of the paper in the office that we spend routinely. You throw it away or it just sits in a file.
Yeah,
Is that-
Time spent searching and retrieving.
And time spent searching and retrieving. So, cost effectively, we will be saving over time.
Not to mention, if there was a catastrophe in this office, we'd be completely starting from zero.
Exactly.
Are we gradually going through one by one and uploading
We
paper
haven't
documents?
started that yet.
So we
That's the
haven't
plan.
started that
Is
yet.
that something you think we will do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now, she's getting the structure set up. Karen's doing the hands-on to get the structure set up and get the workflows figured out. But that's going to be a big project for our office staff, to be scanning those records in.
I would,
Just eliminate the filing time too.
Yeah.
Every piece of paper that comes through, there's filed.
Go ahead.
So the profile that you said, those are owner profiles?
Yes.
Well, so will someone be able to run a report that says how many lots are vacant? How many owners live here? How many owners don't live here? Will that kind of data be put in there so that we could easily run reports that said, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know that it will add the total number of owners, but we can get a list.
Right.
Just like I uploaded it, we can get a list out of it so that we know how many owners we have.
One time we had discussion about who comes to vote, how many people don't live here actually come to vote. I think the record that I heard that we've had voters is 400, 500 people come to vote.
more like 250 to
250 is our
300.
average. Well, how many of those, are people that don't live here? Nobody knows.
Well, we always track that. I mean,
But you track it, but
Yeah.
you'd have to go and manually count
Right,
it, right?
right.
It'd be kind of cool if this was something we wanted to know, to input it into that system that says, okay, this vote, 50% were, residents, whatever.
That's a good point too, because maybe we can go through some of our forms and we can put in some searchable things as like codes that would allow us to find answers like that. And maybe we put all of our heads together and figure out what we want to know.
Exactly.
And then you can add that secretly, not secretly, but some in a place that's not obnoxious to the thing and be able to search for it.
Could that be part of the profile?
So we can add it in the profile, or like Nick said, if we have a certain paperwork that we do all the time so that you you know, you're gonna be uploading into Rover, we could add it to that. It depends on where you want to store it, if you want it to be with the person's profile, so it stays there forever, or if it's gonna be something that possibly changes, you know, from year to year, I don't know that you want to do that.
Well, we could always just do a simple search, and then you should be able to see the amount of results, right?
So for example, on your voting ballots, you have the person's name?
No,
And no.
we
They're
don't.
blank ballots, but we
Yeah.
do have a checkoff list that we download and print.
Yeah,
That
we
might
could
be
keep.
something we could
That
upload.
would-
Okay, well then you
Yeah.
could keep that. You could keep that.
That's where everybody who votes initials, you know, the office creates this printout
So
of everybody
everybody's-
eligible to vote. And then there are codes for the ballots, but they're just if you're a property owner or a homeowner.
Okay. all right.
Phase
Well, we
two.
could-
But the ballots are hand checked off, so I don't know
Oh, they're
that you
hand
can,
checked.
you
Yeah.
can't scan them to, you could scan them to save them, but you can't scan them to collect data back off of them.
Right. The only way you could do it is if you had two ballots, one was yes and one was no, and then.
Times.
But
Well, you
yes.
could put the ballot on a computer as well,
But
and then it's just
do
a
we-
check or an X.
Right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's a big discussion that we can
Right.
have
Phase two.
about how,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
agreed.
And just to be clear, I wasn't asking on how people are voting.